Hey YouTube, Freedom for Kaz here. Hey, what's going on today? I hope you're doing well. You know, it's been a while since I've just made a commentary video, and I want to do that today because one of my friends, SheepDoddOne, made a video today that really came from the heart, and I can really feel what he's talking about. He made a video in reference to Panetta using the drones for war and over the United States to fight terror and terrorism. And I just want to touch a little bit on how I got started in this whole movement, because I think it's important. I don't think I've ever made a video stating how it is that I got started. The main thing about my channel is about survival, and then I also cover other topics like autism, current events, tyrannical government. But for the most part, my channel is known for its Kaz vs. Wild series. Series 1, Series 2, and Series 3 will be filmed later this year in September. The way I got started into the movement, I first started as a truther, and then I developed into a survivalist. And the one thing that got me awake, or how I knew 9/11 was an inside job, not that I believed 9/11 was an inside job, I knew 9/11 was an inside job. And there's a difference between knowing and believing. Because you can believe something all day long, it doesn't mean that just because you believe that it's the truth. But if you know by doing research, by looking at photos, by looking at pamphlets, documents, reports, talking to other people about things that they've researched and getting research from them and searching it and reading it and filtering through it, you become educated, and that takes time. That just doesn't happen in 15 or 20 minutes. I mean, it takes time to develop your thought process, to really look at the evidence presented, and then make a decision whether or not that what you decide based on the facts that you're given is true or not. It's not whether you believe, it's what you know. The way I became a truther is I started studying the airplane or the explosion at the Pentagon. And that always bothered me, because even seeing the images on TV, when it originally happened, I wasn't sure if it was a demolition for the Twin Towers. It sure seemed like it was, but I didn't have any proof. And I wasn't awake back then, so I just wasn't sure. But as I researched the Pentagon and realized that the size of the hole made in the Pentagon was way too small, and the debris that was on the yard of the Pentagon was not nearly enough to support the theory that the plane had gone entirely into the Pentagon. But not only that, there were no wing marks on the Pentagon to suggest that a plane hit it anyway. There were a lot of holes in that story, not to mention the hole in the Pentagon. So that's where I started becoming a truther. I researched the Pentagon probably for about a whole year. I just didn't want to take 15 or 20 minutes and then throw my hands in the air and say, yep, that's what happened. It took me about one whole year of doing research before I came to knowing that, yeah, 9/11 is definitely an inside job. In the links below, I've included a ton of photos and links to photos that will show you the grounds at 9/11, and then there are other links underneath that will show you pictures of airplane crashes, various airplane crashes, and just how much debris is around when a plane crashes like that. When I became a truther and I started spreading the word of the truth, about a year after being a truther, I realized to myself, I said, you know what? What if something like this happens again? What if it's a natural disaster? What if it is a scenario that doesn't even have to do anything with terrorism that happens? And it was that idea, and per se, that fear of something happening, whether it be a natural disaster, man-made disaster, or a terrorist act, or a bombing, or a war, or whatever, kind of pushed me into developing my survival skills and my skills as being a hunter, and learning how to live in the forest, learning how to identify things in the forest, and learn how to just become a survivalist based on the fact of my knowledge of what really can happen, like 9/11, like Hurricane Katrina, when tornadoes come through, or when anything else happens. I feel compelled to make this video today because I want to support my friend SheepDoddOne, because I understand how he feels. If you've never taken the time to research 9/11, or all you've taken is about 15 or 20 minutes to research 9/11, I suggest that you take some serious amount of time. I took a whole year to research it. I wasn't happy about what I found, but what I found was the truth. I'm proud to say that I'm friends with a lot of people here on YouTube. I'm proud to say that there's a lot of people waking up each and every day. I've met many people on YouTube in person, and we all are like-minded in most ways. I just feel compelled today because I could feel the depth of SheepDoddOne. I can feel the depth of his video and what it was he was trying to express. We as Americans are now considered the terrorists of the world. They keep on killing innocent people in illegal wars. This is how I became the person that I am. And this is why I spread the message. I still think it's important to learn about 9/11.